Good morning, guys. Like I told you last week, I am not here today, but I record a video lesson for you, so we're not missing out on too much time. It is something that you guys have definitely seen before. It is the Pythagorean theorem, and we're gonna work with that for a little while because that is our start to our trigonometry unit. So let's remember first things first. The Pythagorean theorem is used when we try to find a missing side of a right triangle. So, missing side of a right triangle. It has to be a right triangle or we don't have a Pythagorean theorem working for us. All right? It is important to understand which side is which. Sides A and B are called legs, and side C is called the hypotenuse. It is super important that you understand that the hypotenuse is always located across from the right angle. So if you have a picture of that triangle and you have that 90-degree box there, the hypotenuse is right across from it, okay? This is always C. And you guys, I know that you know that for any right triangle, we can say that the sum of both legs squared is equal to the hypotenuse squared. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And that is really all there is to it. There will be quite some variations that we have to take in consideration, but we'll figure it out. Let's do our first example together, okay? In this case, on number 1, we are looking for the hypotenuse. All right, that is the side across from the box. So this is your C. So if I know that my legs are 8 and 13 units long, we can say that 8 squared plus 13 squared is equal to the C squared. All right, 8 squared is 64. 13 squared is 169. And that is equal to the hypotenuse squared. 64 plus 169 is 233. Still equal to the hypotenuse squared. And in order to solve that, I have to take the square root on both sides, which you should get. Oh, I guess they called it x. You can call it x. It doesn't really matter. You should get, if you round it to the nearest tenth, you should get 15.3 for your C, for your hypotenuse, or for x. All right. That is really it. So those next 3 problems are very, very similar. You just have to pay attention on if you're looking for the hypotenuse or if you're looking for a leg. I can tell you that on number 2, you're looking for an hypotenuse, and on number 3, you're looking for a leg. Try to figure out number 4. Pause the video and then come back to it and check your answers. If you worked problems 2, 3, and 4, I have put your answers up here. Please check them. Okay, make sure you got them right. And then we move on together to number 5. Number 5, let me zoom in a bit. Ooh, too much. Number 5, you have to be very careful, all right? Because the big triangle is not a right triangle. in itself. You have to be aware that we have two right triangles here. So I can draw a box here and a box there. Okay, because this is the height of a triangle. I know the height is perpendicular to the base. That's how I know that those are right right angles over here. If this is cutting this in half, and I know that because this is an isosceles triangle, right? Then I know that the legs of those little triangles now are 11. All right? If those are my right angles, makes this side here the hypotenuse. With that, we can find x. So you would set it up as leg squared plus the other leg squared is equal to the hypotenuse squared. And then we just solve for x. 11 squared is 121. 24 squared is 576. Now you subtract 121 from both sides. You get that x squared is equal to 455. Take the square root on both sides. And the leg length will be 21.3. Don't worry, if you have questions on any of those, we'll go over this tomorrow. I'll be in class tomorrow, okay? And then you just move on. Number 6, I give you a little bit of a hint here. You have to understand that you have to break this thing here up into shapes. One is a rectangle, one is a triangle, and by definition the rectangle has 4 right angles and the opposite sides are congruent, which makes this small piece here 5. And now you can figure out the second leg of your right triangle. And then you can find, because if this is x, this has to be x as well. So you can say the whole length up here is 18. This portion is 5, which makes this side 13. This is my hypotenuse, okay, this is c. So I can say that 16 squared is equal to 13 squared plus x squared. When you solve that, 16 squared is 256. 13 squared is 169 plus x squared. You subtract 169 from both sides. You get 87 is equal to x squared. Take the square root on both sides. And you get that side over here is 9.3 units long. Number 7 works very, very similar. I'm gonna let you actually try this on your own. I just need you to understand that you have to work it as 2 different triangles. You should use the Pythagorean theorem down here 2 times. I would name this side A and this side B. Find this first, and then you can, in a second calculation, find B. All right? If you have questions, please ask any of your neighbors. They will be able to help you. And then when you move to the back side, I just want you to try your best to solve these, all right? In case you're needing help, please really ask your peers or ask Miss Tilly. I highly recommend for number 10, 11, 12, and 13 to make a little sketch, draw a picture, like let's run number 11, number 10 together, and then you understand what I mean. We have a roofer that leans a 16-foot ladder against a house. If the base of the ladder is 5 feet from the house, how high up the house does the ladder reach? So I have a house. I have a guy that has a ladder leaned against the house. All right. We know that the ladder is 16 feet long. We want to know how high up we can reach. So this would be our X. That's the side we're looking for. And we know that the ladder is 5 feet away from the house. We hope that whoever built that house built it up straight. So this house side should be at a right angle to the ground. That's just what they assume for this problem. And then you set up your equation. You have 2 legs and you're looking for the missing side. And when you run the problem, and that's what I want you to do, you should pause right now and then come back and check your answer. Well, once you ran your problem, your answer should be 15.2 feet. That's how high the ladder will reach up the house. For the rest of today, I would really like you to figure out or try the rest of the problems on this worksheet, and we will compare tomorrow. Have a great day. I'll see you guys later.